Right, my friends, we are but days away from AEW Revolution, so how about we sit down and peruse that old internet and try and find some last-minute rumors. Sound good? Good. I will throw in my predictions at the end as well, so come Monday you can laugh at me. But very sadly, we do have to start with Meat Madness. Not that I don't love Meat Madness. Meat Madness was absolutely going to be my match of the year, but now it ain't happening. And then, of course, Tony Khan came out and said that some people that were meant to be involved have actually gone injured. And that actually makes loads of sense to me, because of course it was going to be Wardlow versus Lance Archer versus Powerhouse Hobbs. And I was like, well, look, that is kind of madness, but that's more like a meat sandwich. We got to throw a couple more people in there. That was going to be Keith Lee, that was going to be Miro, but now it's basically been confirmed. I mean, Miro did a tweet this morning. Those two guys are injured, they can't compete, so we can't do it. Sad face. That is why we have switched to the All-Star Scramble too, and that kind of ties in, because AEW did have to scramble to make this match. Now look, I don't know what's going to happen here, but given that Wardlow, Lance Archer, and Powerhouse Hobbs are still in this, well, I presume that one of them is going to win and get a shot at the AEW World Title. Let's face it should probably be Wardlow. We also know that AEW is about to have a huge debut, because Mercedes Moné is headed to the company in mid-March. But in terms of before that, I believe on the Wednesday the 6th March episode of Dynamite, what we're now being told is there may be another arrival. That's right, it's going to be none other than Okada. This makes perfect sense, because when you do come out at the end of the pay-per-view, you do want to go and fire your excitement gun, which sounds absolutely terrible, out of context. But if he's going to be on that Dynamite, and given that we have a match between Will Ospreay and Takeshita, where I'm like, well, one of these guys has to lose, but they shouldn't lose, could the Don Callis family turn on William Ospreay, and could Okada be the one to make the save? Now that does happen. All our worlds are coming together. And this is where we do have to bring in our stupid rating scale, or the Simon Miller stupid truth scale. And I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10, mostly because I'm not sure. I mean, I was going to assume that if Okada was going to be on that Dynamite and we were going to advertise it, we'd be promoting it already. So if it is just going to be a surprise, and it is just make to people to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, it's that guy from New Japan, well, why not do it on the pay-per-view? And then, like I say, come next week, you can play your big trumpet, which also sounds terrible, but go, Okada is officially in AEW, and where can you see him? Wednesday night. You're probably going to see a little boost in the ratings. I also do think we're going to see some title changes on this card. It means, very sadly, or within kayfabe, the best thing ever, Christian Cage is going to lose his TNT Championship. So I suppose you could clarify this as more of a prediction than a rumor, although once again, people are going crazy out there. But it does make all the sense in the world. It is not 2 + 2 = potato. But the patriarchy did take out Adam Copeland a few weeks ago. We haven't seen him since. Therefore, Cage is taking on Danny Garcia. So why can't the former Edge return and be like, oh, you screwed me over, my once fake brother, and then he can get revenge on him, which allows Garcia to win. But of course, before this, all of Christian's goons would attack the babyface of being babyface. Danny Garcia gets the win. He should have that championship because it continues his wonderful momentum he has had in 2024, and then we can do the big rubber match between Christian and Adam Copeland, and it doesn't matter that it's not for a title, because those two guys are legends. You don't need it. I'm pretty sure Adam himself knows this as well, and look, he did hold it for like 60 seconds, and nobody can take it away from him. And when it comes to the stupid Simon Miller prediction scale, I am going to give it a whopping 8 out of 10. And I only leave the extra 2 points, because, you know, anything can happen in the crazy world of wrestling, but this one, well, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Moving on to the world picture now, we know that Hangman Page is officially in the thing. I think there's a reason for that. Because look, eventually at some point in 2024, Swerve Strickland has to become the AEW World Champion. If we don't do that, something has gone terribly wrong. But if we do take Revolution into consideration, I just don't think it's going to happen there. This is mostly because it is a three-way, and to highlight the fact that Cowboy is descending into madness, you have to assume that somebody is going to pin him, namely Samoa Joe, and then Page can be like, oh, I'm so mad right now, and Swerve can be like, well, I didn't lose, but I don't have a belt around me. This is poppycock. It also means by the time we get to Double or Nothing, we should be able to tell a story that does just focus on Samoa Joe versus Swerve, and then yes, we can give Strickland the title, and it doesn't even matter how long he holds it. Like, I'd love for him to have a massive reign, but the fact we would have crowned him to begin with, it's going to do him all the good in the world. And you know how the chant goes, he deserves it. I just think there has to be a reason to put Adam Page in there. This is the only one that I can come up with, as is the online world. And also, when it comes to Samoa, he has done such a good job as champion. Well, let's smell the tea leaves, which is a weird thing to do. But I don't think you take it off him right now. Doesn't make any sense. So I shall throw a 7 out of 10 on there that Samoa Joe does retain, although when you do Steiner maths, that goes down drastically when we get to his tag team title match. If you saw that interview that Sting did with Sports Illustrated, well, we should all be terrified. He was talking about the fact that he is going to make sure he has a performance that leaves fans talking for ages, and Darby Allin chipped in too, and he was like, if I have to sacrifice myself, that is what I will do. I was like, Darby, what does that mean? You know it's just a wrestling match. So we will sort of transition here once again because we are trying to figure out the booking, but it's nice and simple, and you can let me know in the comments below. Should Sting and Darby Allin keep the tag team championships and win, or should they lose and give it to the Young Bucks, which would mean, yes, the Icon gets defeated in his last match. Now, it is already divided. I've seen that on social media especially. And when it comes to the real life Steve Borden, you just know he's walking around going, well, I think I should lose. I should probably lose. That guy's old school. And look, I do understand this. It would give the Young Bucks all the momentum in the world, especially because they've just become brand new personas. When I do break it down, though, I like to keep things nice and simple, even though, yes, any smart wrestling person does need to be looking to the future. But if you have 16,000 plus people in the Greensboro Coliseum and they've all gone there for Sting, well, sometimes you just gotta make them feel warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. So put this on last, have Sting win, and we can all cry those wonderful tears. Either way, this is gonna hit so damn hard and probably is gonna be an emotional affair. And I remember watching Sting come down from the rafters and kick the NWO's ass. That was like 1997. Where the hell did it go? Now, just to make your brains even more crazy, I thought I'd go and find the betting odds, because that does provide us with some insight. And at the moment, do you know who the favourites are in that tag match? It is indeed Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Ruh-roh. Samoa Joe is also the favourite, as is Wardlow, Eddie Kingston, Roderick Strong, Tony Storm, Will Ospreay, and interestingly, Christian. Now, of course, I told you I have my own thoughts too. I am not a robot, although I understand why you think I would be. I can't even grow hair. But I am going for Samoa Joe, Eddie Kingston, Roderick Strong, Tony Storm, William Ospreay, but also I put Daniel Garcia in there. We've talked about it. There's probably going to be some extra matches thrown in there too, because Tony Khan loves adding matches at the last minute. And don't forget as well, during a recent press call, Mr. Khan also told us that he is going to extend or increase the amount of pay-per-views we are getting in 2024, which means our next show won't be Double or Nothing, and there will be one in April. So we go back to that world title thing. If we are building and putting stuff in place, you could do a match there, maybe between Hangman and Swerve, I don't know. Then we do go on to the pay-per-view we all know and love. And finally, Swerve Strickland is our champion, even though he did try and kidnap a child. Otherwise, though, much is the way with AEW big shows, this is all going to be about the match quality and just being able to sit back and enjoy some match grappling. I have no problem with that, but there is a comment box down there. Let me know your thoughts. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And look, there is a video on the screen, which is my ups and downs from AEW Dynamite, so you can get my opinions on where we currently are with the product. Thank you for joining me, my friends. See you soon.